This video, I'm gonna discuss how to digest milk again. As of someone who have suffered acne for half a decade, and was also probably told that I was lactose intolerant and I will never be able to digest milk again. Two, my current situation is I'm around drinking around 700 ml of milk every day, and I'm facing no problems. So, how I did regain the power, the digestion power in order to digest that milk, I'm gonna discuss about that. I've actually made a system of step-by-step process or methods that it needed in order to digest the milk, which I'm gonna disclose in my video at the end. So, if you want to regain the power of digestion, you must watch this video till the end. So, first of all, why we are not able to digest milk? So, according to the Ayurveda, milk is a form of liquid which is heavy in nature and cold in potency. This combination, that heavy in nature and cold in potency, make it potent to it requires a high digestion power. Due to its heavy in nature, it is not well digested if you take in a good high amount, or if your digestion power is not capable enough to digest it. Second, due to its cold potency, if it is not well digested, there is a very much chances that it can create mucus, lethargy, heaviness right after consuming the milk or the next day. And that's the reason of why milk is causing mucus. It is not that milk causes mucus to everybody, but it is that your digestion has been suffered or has been lowered due to your lifestyle, and that's the reason of why you are facing mucus or nose blocking instantly after drinking milk. So milk is not bad, your digestion is just not appropriate or at a good level to digest the milk. I personally was also forced to believe that I was lactose intolerant, that I will never again able to digest milk, because I was someone who was able to digest milk easily during my childhood. But after a certain point, due to my improper lifestyle, my digestion power was so much lowered that I was not being able to digest milk, and I was forced to believe that I was lactose intolerant and every type of milk product is prohibited for me. And even if I do take it in a small amount, it it will be causing me problem. But that is not the case, as I have researched and learned about it. Your digestion is just very much low, and because of the lower of the digestion, you are not being able to digest milk. Or instead, if your digestion power is low, you will be probably will not be able to digest many foods, and the other or the society might be saying you that you are allergic to them, but actually not. You are just not capable enough to digest those foods, especially nuts. It comes with nuts that you are mostly allergic to nuts, because whenever you eat it, there is a chances of um, acne, or there is a chances of skin eruption right after that. If you do want a video on how to digest nuts, seeds, I will be making it in my upcoming future. Okay, so let's dive again back into the real concept. Okay, so what's that solution or what's that method of system that I have developed personally after learning through endless YouTube videos, binge watching videos, reading books, experimenting with my own self, with many trial and errors. I was able to form a system which made it made the milk so much easier to digest that even the weakened digestion power guy can digest it again and take its benefit. So, what's that method or what is that system? Let's let's dive into it. The first thing that I want you to do is Prioritize A2 milk than A1 milk. Why? A1 milk are the milk which are hormonally injected by injection in order to mass produce the quantity of milk. So as they are hormonally injected, this causes them this causes certain hormones to be in the milk itself, and those hormone is not digestible for our body. Our body refuses to digest those hormones, causing problems instantly after drinking milk. So if you drink commercial milk, then every time you drink it, that will be a problem. So you need to prioritize A2 milk or desi cow milk, which are not hormonally injected. It would be costing you a little bit higher in price, but the quality is worth it. You will be again be having the capability to digest the milk and gain its benefit instead of those commercial milk. Commercial milk never gets digested fully onto your bodies. They always release or leaves toxins in your body, which when it is repeated every again and again causes pus-filled acne. That's the point. And I have tested by my own this method onto the commercial milk and also to the A2 milk. And every time I've come up with the result that commercial milk always causes me diarrhea or problems such as liquid stools. Liquid stool indicates that whatever food you have digested, whatever food you have intake are not properly getting digested, and thus there is not bindness in your stool. That is what liquid stool indicates. So every time I did this with this commercial milk, every time my digestion suffered, and probably for the next 2 days my digestion become very much lower due to it literally reduces digestion so much. But onto the A2 milk, it is still heavy, but yet it is very much easier to digest in compared to the commercial milk. It is not hormonally injected. It doesn't contain those hormones which are not meant to be inside a human. So prioritize A2 milk. You will be again be regaining the power of digestion as well as gaining the fullest benefit of the milk. Second thing that I want you to, this is the actual process of how you can make the milk again digestible. So whenever you boil milk, make sure that you boil milk with equal amount of water or more and evaporate it and then consume the milk. What I mean. So if you are taking around 500 ml of milk, I want you to take equal amount of water, around 500 ml of water and more of 300 ml of more water. So that is 500 ml of milk, 800 ml of water. I want you to boil it until that 800 ml of water is getting evaporated and you are left with only just 500 ml of milk. What is it? According to the Ayurveda, this process of boiling the milk with water and letting the water get evaporated makes the milk very much digestible and very much easier to digest. I know it is very hard to believe that just by boiling in this manner it will be making it easier to digest, but I want you to try it because it has been inscripted and written in the Ayurvedic text and as well as experimented by my own self. So if you do want to take milk, taken in this manner, boiling it and evaporating the water completely and then drinking it, it will be 100% making the milk very much easier to digest. The only downside is that you have to make sure that the water you have taken has been evaporated completely or at least mostly of that has been evaporated, because if the water is not evaporated, then there is a very much chances that your body will be very much forced to do more work, as it first need to digest the milk and no, it first need to digest the water, then it will be forced that it will be proceeding to digest the milk. So that is a too much, twice the work it needs to do. So ensure that the water is completely evaporated and just you are left with the milk. So you will be you will be literally surprised to know that how effectful this process is just by boiling it with the equal to more amount of water and evaporating. This process literally makes it very easy to digest. And the second step that I want you to do while the boiling process of this is undergoing, you must include certain herbs or spices which will further increase the digestibility and increase the digestion of the milk, such as ginger, black pepper, turmeric, and licorice. Muleti, I do call it muleti, licorice. So include those four herbs or spices. The quantity of those herbs and spices can differ person to person, but general recommendation will be around 3 grams of licorice, 1 to 3 grams of turmeric, 100 mg to 1 gram of black pepper, and 2 to 3 or 4 grams of ginger. You can adjust it according to your own body because it is not something like one shoes fit for all. You need to do a little bit of trial and error to find the uh, exact amount of how much spices, if you do put it, will not be causing you burn means, as those spices are hot in potency, they have a tendency to cause burning problems or excessive sweating or excessive burning inside your body. So you need to adjust the amount as you can. So don't be taking too much of those herbs, but at an appropriate level. This will be making the milk furthermore digestible. Due to the incorporation of those herbs and spices, it increases the digestibility very much of the milk, as all of its property is indulged into the milk, and the also milk becomes very much palatable for your body, very much easier to digest, because all of those properties of the herbs which I have told you are making the food easier to digest. So all those properties are indulged into the milk, making the milk more easier to digest in compared to in compared to if you do consume the milk just by boiling. The third step I do want you to take is frothing. So make sure that after you boil the milk, you froth the milk uh, at a good at a good amount or at a good level. Frothing means shaking of the milk until the bubble arise. So this method of frothing further breaks down the casein protein, further breaks down the milk and make it more easier to digest. This frothing, do it until there is a appropriate amount of bubble form around the milk, and it will be probably taking around 10 shakes probably, but you will be able to know that after doing that the milk will be far easier to digest as well as tasty. It also increase the tasty, it also increase the perception of taste of the milk too. So do involve frothing, do not skip this, it is actually making the milk very much easier. This creation of bubbles further increase the digestibility. Okay, this frothing is written in Ayurveda, so make sure that you do it, and it will be very much beneficial for you to digest the milk. Next thing, always consume milk warm, never consume cold. Cold milk makes your body more potent to indigestion, as your body first needs to warm it and then digest it. In compared to warm milk, your body can naturally curdle the milk right away as you drink it, and the milk will be getting digested. It is not the case with the cold milk. So never consume milk in cold. Um, Never consume cold milk. Always consume warm milk. It is very easy to digest and compared to cold. Okay, the next thing that I want you to do is, before drinking of the milk, there is one breathing practice that I want you to do. It can be done every time before the meal. It will activate your parasystematic nerves, or the nerves related to digestion specifically. So, what you need to do is, before you take anything such as milk, which is harder to digest, so before taking this milk, just breathe from this right nostril only, close this left nostril, breathe from this right nostril, then close this right nostril and breathe out from this left nostril. Do this around 28 times. You will be surprised to know that i- instantly, just by doing this, you will be feeling a little bit of sweaty, little bit of hunger increase instantly, just by instantly. This is a system, this is a method of activating that parasystematic nerves in your body, which is particularly focused with digestion, metabolism, etc. So, doing this, just breathing in from the right while closing the left, and breathing out from the left while closing the right, it will be beneficial. It will be maximizing the digestion of the milk. The next thing that I want you to do, there are a lot of stuff, but hope you are taking notes of it. But just believe that once you do it, once you do this in this manner, you will be surprised to know that a person who was not capable enough to digest milk is literally being able to digest around 1 glass, 2 glass of milk. So, okay. The next thing that I was talking about was standing. So, drinking the milk while standing. This ensure that whatever you have drank, especially milk, it is not suitable with water. It is just with milk, that you drink it while standing. This ensure that the milk is directly um, proceed onto your stomach, and it has been circulated directly onto your intestines and stomach, because there is very much of tendency of milk getting stagnated in your GI tract, causing of mucus or causing indigestion, gas and bloating. So if you prioritize milking of prioritize drinking of milk while standing, it will ensure that this milk is entirely digested, and entirely your milk will be properly getting utilized in your body. One more thing that I want you to do is ensure that whenever you take the milk, take it with spoon. I know it will be a little bit um, time consuming, but make sure that you drink the milk with spoon. Why? Because when you drink the milk with spoon, little bit there is of secretions of saliva while drinking the milk, which is not done if you do gulp the milk with the glass. Because when you take it with a spoon, the time involved in drinking the milk also get increased, but at the same time your body is able to realize that it is consuming anything. Because if you instantly take anything, your body will be not be able to be present, or will be surprised completely that okay, he suddenly took so much of thing, I need to force everything towards it, and there is a tendency that entire blood flow will be forced into onto your stomachs, making you lethargic, heavy, etc. So drink the milk with spoon. I know it is a little bit of tough, but do it. This all steps are literally gonna change your entire life with the milk. You are again gonna regain the power of milk from the root, from the real body, from the real insights. From this real tips or real steps, you are again gonna regain the power of digesting the milk. The next thing that I want you to do is just more two steps are needed after that. Okay, so probably taking milk at evening. Why? Because whenever because our body have a natural secretion of those enzymes such as which are needed for breakdown of milk. It happens during the night or during the evening hours after the sunset. This is the only food that Ayurveda recommends that you can take after the sunset, that is milk, because our body has a natural system of digesting the milk or having the enzymes to digest the milk occurs during the evening hours after the sunset. So drink the milk probably after the sunset. I personally drink it around 6:30 p.m. That is probably after sunset. Just after the sunset, I take the milk so that there is a well time before my sleep around 2 to 3 hours, and in between that 2 to 3 hours, after an hour and a half, I ensure that I walk around 1,000 steps, slow walking. I repeat, slow walking, moving at a very slow speed and walking on that pace for around 1,000 steps will ensure that any of this little bit of gas bloating which might be caused will also get relieved, and you will be probably sleeping a sound full sleep, a very deep sleep. That's a one more side effects of milk, that you will be sleeping in a very calm state, deep state. The last thing that I want you to do after the frothing, while standing, while the milk is warm, add sugar candy or mishri into that milk and dissolve it and then consume it. Mishri further breaks down and make it more digestible, as mishri has the qualities of increasing the digestion power while it is very much compatible with milk. So Ayurveda generally recommends or specifically recommends to combine milk with sugar candy or mishri. It increases the digestibility. It helps in secretion of more digestive enzymes with more saliva, and it also helps to regulate the acid. It further helps the body in cuddling of the milk, breaking down of the milk while taking it. So ensure that just you add sugar candy before consuming the milk while it is warm while standing. Till this for this video. Hope you got useful insight and valuable tips regarding digestion of the milk. And if you do got an insight, I hope that you like the video, subscribe the channel, and wait for the next video. Till then,